we've raised our forecast for the Australian dollar to 72 cents by the end of this year and 76 cents by the end of 2021. The Australian dollar's been on a tear recently, and it's very much reflecting the strength of the iron ore price. So we're expecting that the strength of the iron ore price will continue. It's also been supported by strength in the Australian economy. Now, I know that we are going to have a very deep recession in the June quarter, but consumer confidence, as measured by the Westpac index, has recovered all the ground that it lost in March and April, that 20% loss. And that's suggesting that Australian consumers are feeling a lot better than we're expecting them to feel by now. That's suggesting that the downturn will be shallower than we expected, and the recovery will begin in the September quarter earlier than we had been expecting. So the feeling around the Australian economy is going to be more positive. Then, of course, we have to think about the overall risk environment. And the Australian dollar is very much affected by how people feel about risk. Risk is very much being supported by the actions of central banks. The US central bank in particular has been an aggressive buyer of corporate bonds, a lender to small business, and has lifted their balance sheet from around 4 trillion US to what's likely could be as much as 10 trillion US, and is committed to doing what is necessary to keep that US economy on track. So my view is that risk story, while it's going to have its ups and downs, and we saw last week that when there was concern about a resurgence of COVID concerns in certain states in the US, we saw a 7% fall in the US share market. My feeling is that, generally speaking, between now and the end of the year, the risk story will remain positive, while there will be some setbacks. So we're assuming setbacks because the Aussie dollar's lifted by 12 cents over the last few months. We're only looking for another 3-cent lift between now and the end of the year. But nevertheless, we are looking for further strength in the Aussie dollar. Next year, we've always argued that 2021 is going to be a very good year for the Aussie dollar. We've argued it was going to rise by around 4 cents, and we continue to argue that case. Mainly because the world economy will be growing strongly next year. We're looking at around 5% growth, including 10% for China, compared to a 3% contraction this year. And that'll mean that starting the year at 72 cents, it's going to finish the year, we expect, at a level of 76 cents. And we haven't seen 76 cents for the Aussie dollar for quite some time.